With the Big Leagues podcast here, Dave and Isaac back. Just a quick video. Wanted to give our reactions to the
Yeah.
Pascal Siakam trade here, especially with me being a Raptors fan. So the Raptors trade away Siakam to the Indiana Pacers, and they receive Bruce Brown, Jordan Nwora, Kira Lewis, a 2024 Indiana Pacers first round pick, and then a 2026 Indiana Pacers first round pick, as well as a 2024 first round pick. And it'll be the worst pick out of Houston, Utah, Clippers, and Thunder. So as of right now, the Thunder in fourth place. So it'll be looking like a pretty late first round pick there. Um, like right off the bat, Siakam's a free agent coming up this year. Like we could lose him for nothing, especially after losing Van Vliet for nothing. That's just something that we couldn't afford to do. We're not like in anywhere close to like we're not even really in a playoff position here. So I think to recover some assets and have some first round picks to hopefully strike some gold or maybe make a move or something for something that fits our timeline. I think that's a good fit. I like Siakam. Like he was like probably like one of the better Raptors players since as long as I've been a fan. Had some like great moments with him. He was big in our championship run, but I just think it was time to bring in some new guys, start a new team over. And the only thing like it's not like we got really like a lot of those picks are kind of like later picks, so I'm not too excited that like we're gonna get a superstar guy. We could get a bunch of nobodies, and we could really you look back and we really got nothing. So that's where I'm a little hesitant. But anytime you get 3 first round picks, I think that's a win in my books. What do you think?
I mean, I'll start from the Raptors, I guess. I mean, for me, I've never been a fan of, trading for late first round picks. I just kind of, for me, I like to get more young guys. I think that's the way. Like if you're trading a top guy, um, I think Bruce Brown's, I'm not sure kind of what the Raptors plan with him. Maybe six man, maybe move him. Not sure, but I think he's a solid rotational piece on any like.
Yeah, he's a good like culture guy.
Yeah. I think Jordan Nwora and Lewis are just kind of throw-ins. Like I don't expect the Raptors to get much from that. But I mean, the Raptors didn't have a ton of leverage because Siakam, like you said, it was going to be a free agent. So I feel like they didn't have they didn't have many other options. Or if they had a better deal, they would have taken. But 3 first-round picks and Bruce Brown, I feel like it's a solid return. And from the Pacers' perspective, I honestly really like this move. Like,
Me too.
I mean, they're getting. I think Spice actually a really good guy to pair with Halliburton. I think they mix really well. They're starting 5: Benedict, Halliburton, Miles Turner, Spice. Like just kind of 4. Those are 4 guys. That I think would play well together. And I think honestly they'll probably be like a 4 or 5 seed now. And I don't think they're a championship team just yet. But maybe they bring in someone else. But I think the only way the Pacers lose this deal is if Spice just walks in free agency. But I gotta imagine they talked to him about they talked to him about signing an extension in Indiana, and he probably said he's open to it. So, but I honestly think this another kind of win. There's been a lot of win-win deals in the NBA this year. Kind of the Raptors OG trade too. I think it's kind of similar to that where the Raptors got good out of like a somewhat aging like all-star type of guy, and they brought some young talent and picks in, and the Knicks and Pacers are getting kind of more of a veteran guy that helps their rotation now.
Yeah, I think I saw that Siakam kind of indicated that he'd most likely re-sign with Indiana, and just the way their salary cap was set up, they wouldn't have been able to like sign him outright, so they had to bring him in before to fit him in the cap. So I think that way it's good. I mean, Pacers aren't really a free agent destination where you're gonna bring in like some superstar guy. So to be able to bring in Siakam, I think that's kind of the level of player you're probably gonna bring in, and I think it's just he's a really good fit with the Pacers. He's a really good player, like a borderline All NBA guy that he doesn't really need the ball. He's kind of like a selfless player where he'll fit right in with that culture with Halliburton as established.
And
just go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I think he fits well too because Halliburton's such a good facilitator, and I feel like Spice fits well there too, and also Miles Turner can stretch the floor really well. So I think that helps. That helps. Like, I think Poeltl wasn't a negative to his game, but I feel like now that he has Miles Turner, who can free up the paint,
create some space for him. Yeah, exactly.
rim and get easy buckets instead of the opposing center always just camping in the paint. And Spice can also play make too. So I feel like
Yeah.
If they try to double him down low, kick it out to Miles Turner, like I think it's a great fit for the Pacers, and I think, like you said, not a big free agent destination. Like, I don't know where else they would have got another guy to really pair with Halliburton, and Spice is still young enough for now, like this core of Spice and Halliburton and maybe Miles Turner, like they got a few years to try to build a better team around them too.
I think the key for them to take that next jump is if they can get Mathurin to develop a bit more.
Yeah.
I had really high hopes for him. He hasn't really met my expectations. So if they could get him to develop a bit more, I think that would be big. I'm really, like you kind of mentioned with some of that fit there. Like I'm really excited to see how this roster looks in game. The Pacers have been like one of my favorite teams to watch this year. The way Halliburton's been playing, it's just been phenomenal. Like some of those in-season tournament games and stuff, they're just really fun to watch for me. So it'll definitely be something I'll be tuning into.
And like for them to be able to keep like Naismith and Jalen Smith and also Benedict, like not lose any of their young guys. And yeah, like I just think that they still have like a solid bench even with losing Bruce Brown, and now like their starting five gets that much better. So I mean for the Pacers, I just feel like there's a deal you had to make, to be honest.
Do you think they could make noise in the playoffs? Like, do you think at their best they could compete with a Boston, or Milwaukee, or a Philly?
I mean, they went to the finals of the in-season tournament without him, so like, not that that's means.
I mean, the way like that game against the Celtics was that was so good. Like the way Tyrese Halliburton closed out that game, kind of cemented him in my eyes as like I think I'd have Halliburton higher than the majority of people.
Yeah,
I mean, it's phenomenal.
I'm definitely a big believer in Halliburton, and I feel like because their offense, like they got such good shooting, and like Buddy Hield and Halliburton and Miles, like I feel like they can slug it out with teams just have an offensive battle. And also I feel like now they're going to be somewhat more solid defensively too. Like Benedict's a great defender, Spice a pretty solid defender, Miles Turner a great defender. So it wouldn't surprise, they could beat a team like Philly and it wouldn't shock me in the playoffs, to be honest. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't pick them like
I'm not picking them at
like pick them or whatever, but like I think they could definitely make noise.
Like, are you really confident that the Knicks would beat them in a series?
No.
Are you
to win, they're currently plus 3,300 to win the East, which is a lot higher than I was expecting. Like Boston's plus 120, Bucks plus 200, Philly plus 550,
like,
Heat plus 1,400, Knicks plus 1,800, Cavs plus 2,500, and then the Pacers come in.
That to win the Eastern Conference in the regular season, or to like come?
Oh no, like the playoffs.
Okay. I mean, like, do you think? Like, I think they can compete with the Cavs, Sixers, Knicks, Heat. I just don't think they're there with the Celtics and Bucks right now. Yeah. But I feel like that's a little out of their tier. But I think they're right there to be like a second round team that puts up a good fight against Boston or Milwaukee, to be honest.
Yeah, I definitely think they'll be competitive with anyone. Yeah, another key aspect to mention for this Raptors trade, for the Raptors point of view is, we owe a top 6 protected pick to the Spurs, and we're currently sitting at 24th. So trading away Siakam for like not really much help to our current roster, I think, will hopefully take us kind of within the outside the protection of that pick, so we can keep our pick. So that's kind of another bonus to that deal that doesn't come up like on the trade graphic that Woj tweets out, but it is definitely a key thing because losing that, getting say the 7th pick or the 8th pick and having to ship that over to San Antonio would really be detrimental to the franchise. So getting hopefully like a 3 to 6 pick, maybe you could even win the lottery and you get number 1. So.
Well, look, I was just about to say, like last year, I didn't agree with what the Raptors did. I think they should have moved Van Fleet, and because there's no point. I don't see the point, like especially with a class like the one we just had, so many top talent guys. Like if you get in the top 4, you're getting a pretty big piece to your team. Like you're getting either we know the top 4, but I just don't understand why you wouldn't. Like, I thought you guys should have moved Van Vliet, maybe OG, and like just embrace the tank and try to get a top pick. But I just don't see what the point is, like trying to get the 10 seed, 9 seed, fight for that.
Yeah.
Like, unless your team like the Lakers, Suns, or Warriors,
Yeah.
got that veteran roster where if they get in, they can win. But like if the Raptors get the 9 seed, like they're not winning no championship. So
No.
I just feel like you should have torn it down, and now I think it was a good decision to do it here.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. You got any other thoughts to add there?
No, I think we covered it mostly. Yeah, unless you got else.
No, I think that covers it for me too. Overall, I'm happy with the trade. I think it was time to move on and
Yeah.
bring us in some assets. So I'm happy
Well,
there.
what would you give it in a letter grade? What would you give it in the base?
Like I'd probably give it like a B plus A minus
For
for
Raptors?
Raptors.
Yeah. And then what would you give Pacers?
I'd probably give it like an A.
I mean, for Pacers, I'd give them either A or A plus, and for Raptors, I'd say probably B plus. I'd say. I think those are some. I think like it's just a great deal for the Pacers and a solid deal for the Raptors, basically.
Yeah. All right. That's our thoughts on the deal. We'll be back again soon.